The opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the speakers and presenters. They do not represent the opinions or views of the Equita Group, Equita Final Expense Services, or its affiliates.
Hello there, everybody. Chase Urick here, and we appreciate you guys jumping on and joining us for episode number 15 of the EFES In the Trenches podcast. I'm excited about today. Why? Because we've got a superstar on the line. We've got somebody who's an absolute killer in the business with us, Mr. Reda Ahlouche. Reda has been with EFES now, I think, coming up on over a year, growing an agency, absolutely killing it, big-time six-figure producer, and we're very, very excited to have him on with us today. Kind of touch and go a little bit about how get to know a little bit, about, how Reda operates. Who is Reda? Because when you see him at the top of the leaderboard, we always get the questions, how many leads does he take? What's his schedule look like? Today's a great opportunity for you to be able to dive in, learn a little bit more about how he does what he does, and maybe implement a little bit of what he does into your business. So we're going to get rolling here in just a minute, but a couple of updates for you guys. You've heard us talk about this each and every time. If you're out there in podcast land right now and you feel like you're on an island, you don't have a mentor, you don't have a top producer out there showing you how to do what you do like Reda with all of the agents he works with, how to be successful. If you're missing that or you don't have leads, you don't have a platform that's conducive to success, let us know. We'd love to help you. Give us a call at 800-765-0711. You can also go to efesonline.com. That's EFESonline.com. You're going to see a chat pop up. A guy named Ryan's going to start talking to you. Strike up a conversation. Say hello, and let's start, kind of inching forward to helping get to where you want to be in terms of your business growing and expanding and booming. So with that being said, I also want to throw out there to you, big news came down the pipe on Friday. We announced our EFES annual sales convention. It's going to be in Las Vegas, March 21st, March 22nd. It's going to be a good one. We welcome each and every one of you in podcast land with EFES. Attend. This is going to be an event of all events. You're going to have some of the top producers there to be able to network with and rub elbows, top agency builders that are willing to kind of share their tips and tricks with you once again. And then once again, an educational side of the event as well. We're going to have a great symposium, great breakdown of the business and how it works and how these successful people are doing it each and every day. And so with that being said, I want to keep the update short today. We've got Reda on the line. Enough said. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy rolling. What's going on, Reda? How are you doing today out there rocking and rolling? How are you, man?
Good, brother. I feel great. That intro was unbelievable with Dire Straits, money got nothing. So it was a great day. I've been on the road. Did good today, almost $4,000 of sales overall, but I'm very excited to be with you here and help anybody learn something, as I personally learn every day from a lot of people.
That's awesome, man. On this podcast, we love to kind of do a peek behind the curtain. Who are you, what you're about, and so kind of maybe share some experience with, somebody out there who's looking to obtain that success or looking to improve. So as we get right into it, let's start with the genesis of it, man. When did you actually get started in this business?
I started on a part-time base, I would say, almost 18 months ago. I was a gym owner. And I've been training a lot of athletes, professional athletes, and yes, of course, the New England Patriots, Red Sox. So I've been doing this for over 27 years. And I had a very good client of mine, and every time I see her husband stop by, I'm like, this young kid, he's got to be a drug dealer, man. He drives a beautiful car. He was nice stuff. Like, what does he do, And my wife, she goes, just ask her, So I asked her, I'm like, of course, that Sherry Jensen, who is a very good friend of mine right now, and Josh is a brother. So I said, what does your husband do, So she said, there he is. Go talk to him. So I said, hey, buddy, how you doing? He goes, great, man. You know how he is, And he goes, I'm on a fund and expense business. I'm like, oh, you're on finance. He goes, no, final expense. I'm like, what is final expense? Like finance, like stock market? And no, he said, barrier insurance, Medicare. And he said, you should get into it. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we started talking a little bit, and, every time he comes and trains, we chat, we work out together, and, he shows me the numbers, and, he was reeling me in slowly with that leaderboard, and, and then one day, he said, I got to show you something exciting. I'm like, all right, what is it? He showed me his freaking bank account. I'm like, you SOB. He goes, yeah. He said, you know what, you can do that too. I looked at my wife, I'm like, hon, I want to have his bank account. She said, well, do whatever you have to do. So I told him, what should I do? He said, get the training going, get courses, get licensed. And I just followed his lead, man. He said, jump, I jumped. He said, step by step. I mean, if I wanted to become him, I had to act like him. So, and then slowly, right. I started going out and training with him. And that's how I started.
That's awesome. And you just said, to get that bank account and that goal that you set for yourself, you had to kind of emulate and roll like Josh did. And last year, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. 243 applications, over 207,000 in personal production. Those are amazing numbers. Tell me this. Are you a door knocker? Are you an appointment setter? What's your method to get out there and get in front of people?
I mean, there is two ways how people should look at this, okay? Before they ask, should I door knock or should I, have an appointment setter? The first question, look in the mirror and say, am I willing to work hard? Because you can go as a door knocker and you can come back with 0. You can go as a cold setter, you can come back as 0. Are you a go-getter? Can you sell either door knocking or, making appointments? When you can do both, that's when you can choose. Me personally, I've always been a door knocker. That's why they call me the door knocker. Why? I buy a ton of leads, and I like to go out early in the morning and then door knock the doors, just door knock. And it worked for me. If I have, for example, 50 leads to work in a week, I call. I call, like Josh and Ben told me, and, just get all the people who wants to buy this product, get them up front, and then you can door knock the other. But as of right now, I door knock unless I have a ton of leads.
Gotcha. Okay. And talking about your approach, we're going to get into your routine here in just a minute. Before we do, let's talk about your goals. You had goals when you first got into the business, and you've absolutely been killing it. You're getting better every day. You've reached a certain level of success. I mean, 200K last year. That's unbelievable. Let's talk about how your goals, where they were when you first started, and then where they are now and how you've adjusted and obviously probably raised the bar. What were you looking at in terms of what you want to accomplish when you first got into the business?
Great question. When I started the business, all I wanted is a paycheck and a guaranteed paycheck that I can control. At the gym, if client comes, I get paid. If they don't, I don't get paid. So at the beginning, I just want to have like cash flow. Let me try to make $5,000-$6,000 a month and feel the business. And then once I started making that, I was like, you know what? My goal is to reach $10,000 a month. I really want to make $10,000. And what I've noticed is that I don't have goals anymore. I have objectives. Like, what can I make will be based on how hard am I going to work. Like, if I set a goal to myself, me personally, I think I'm already failing. Because I want my goal to have no goal. Just go and work hard. Sell as much as you can. Wake up every morning as if I'm starving. I never look at my bank account. Like today I sold $4,000. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. I don't have $4,000. That's from yesterday. So, and also my goal changed in agency building. EFES is a great company, man. I mean, you can work with so many different IMOs, and they all say we are great, we offer things, and so on. But EFES talk the talk and walk the walk. If you want to be a builder, they trust me to become a builder, we'll show you how. Right now, I have 8 agents. And my goal for 2019 is to have 25 agents. That's what me and Josh are working on. My sales goal, I don't have a sales goal. I want to make as much as I can until December 31st, 2019.
That's awesome. I absolutely love it. And talking about talking the talk and walking the walk, you are the epitome of that. I still remember the first day I met you. We went and grabbed grabbed dinner when you guys came to town, and it was awesome. And I remember leading up to it, Josh was like, "You're going to love Reda. You're going to love Reda. He's going to kill it. He's going to kill it." And obviously, as long as I've been in the business, you hear that. And people, end up not doing anything sometimes. Man, was he spot on when it came to you. And that's why whenever you're like, you're going to love Bruno, you're going to love Scott, you're going to love Tammy, you're going to love Sherry. The stamp of approval is unbelievable with you guys. And so with that said, let's talk about the mechanics. Let's talk about, the proof is in the pudding, of course. Let's talk about the mechanics. What does your day look like? You mentioned before that you get up early, you love to go door knock. Give us a peek into behind the curtain on what does a day look like in terms of your routine?
Right. So what I do, let's say, for example, today, I finish work around 7, 8, or when it just becomes dark, and then I go home. And I always do one thing. I'm sure you have access to access leads. And I just purchased, I think, 60 leads, if you can check my account. Every night, I log in and see if I can fish something. I don't care if I have 150 leads. I just purchased, I think, 80 leads in Rhode Island. And my number one plan at night before I plan for the next day is to fish more and buy leads. So I buy more leads. And then for the next day, I check my leads. I'm like, okay, I have like 50, 40 leads, right? And then what I want to do, I want to check and correspond the addresses because I want to go to the same location. So I put like 3, 4 leads in the same location, 2, 3 leads in the same location. And then I use MapQuest. MapQuest. It's a free service. I insert all of my addresses, and it will send me one client to the other. And then I get up in the morning, I kiss my son, I take him to daycare, and then I hit the road around 10 a.m. And then I'll be working until it's dark. And every time I sell something, I don't feel as if I sold it. The one thing I trained myself to do, believe it or not, I tell myself every application I'm buying will get canceled tomorrow. Everyone, like today, I'm going to have 4 apps canceled. It puts a lot of intensity in my body. So you know what? I can't relax, man. I need to get more work. And that's how it works, and it worked for me.
So just rinse and repeat, do it all over again the next day?
Rinse and repeat unless I purchase, for example, let's say I have 100 leads. The night before I call and make my appointment. Hi, this is Reda Ahlouche from SPHS. The reason I'm calling you back, Ms. Mary, for this card you received from our office regarding the state-regulated life insurance program. Remember the card? Yeah, okay. So my job is very simple. I get 100 of these a week, and I have to stop by for 10 minutes to give you the free information. Would 10 o'clock work for you? She goes, no. I'm like, why not? I never say, oh, no, 5, 11. No, why not? She's like, what do you mean, why not? I'm like, I have to give you this free information. So when I act like this with people, they don't want to lose on it. I'm like, well, 10 o'clock, so when would you be home? And they'll be like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever. So I make those appointments and I go out and sell. And those I didn't reach, I just don't knock the next day. But I just go, man. I just want to go. I just want to drive. I just want to go.
That's awesome. I've seen you post videos in the community chat where it's pouring down or it's snowing. It's a Saturday. You're out getting it and you're just grinding to get it done. And everybody who's come in contact with you, obviously they admire that, and they'll always hit you up and be like, Reda, you're getting it today, man. And you see those messages come through in the chat, and it's awesome. So when we talk about, the daily routine, throw out all the accolades, which are obviously earned. Those come with just blood, sweat, and tears, doing what you do and grinding, as we mentioned. Let's talk about something that may be not as fun to talk about, which is let's talk about bad habits. Everybody on the podcast, we love to kind of humanize you and let them know that you're not the Terminator and you are human. If you had to isolate, what would you, just one, what would you say is a bad habit that you have?
I would say, sometimes when I'm driving and I'm setting up an appointment, I'll go to my phone and I'll check the leaderboard where I'm at, and I check, the lead, if there's new lead, or I check my Facebook sometimes I'm bored, or, I say, you know what, today I just want to go grab something to eat. And I'd be watching my Facebook and everything, and then my alarm clock goes out. Was like, yo, you broke. Go work. I'd be like, whoa, I got to go. So I would say my weakness sometimes is my phone. I'm trying to get a divorce out of it, but, in Massachusetts, you got to pay half of everything, so I might as well keep it for the batteries. But I would say that, I spend a little bit more time on my phone than I should.
That's an honest answer, and it's not the first time we've heard that. It's easy to get distracted sometimes nowadays, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. Let's talk about on days where you feel like you're just getting beat up and you just can't give it away. When you have one of those days, how do you approach that? What's your mindset? How do you kind of recalibrate and get yourself back on track?
I grab my phone and I look at the picture of my mother. I grab my phone, look at the picture of my son. I grab my phone and look at those who count on me to go out and work and hustle. I took a wife and I promised her to have a good life. I bear the son and I promised him he's going to have a good life. So I do feel down a lot. We're in Massachusetts. It gets -20. You do like 9 donuts and you said nothing. I just look at the pictures and I get mad. I get angry. Not angry at the business, not angry at life. I get angry of me, like not going and pushing forward. And I would push forward. Like, I swear to God, I told my wife 3 days ago or 4 days ago, I was in Fall River, and it was like freaking -20 or whatever. So I'm opening my car door, and I'm cold, man. I mean, I'm freezing cold. And I'm trying to open the door, and I can't because it's very windy, and we are right by the beach. And that freaking cold hit my face. I'm like, what am I doing here? And then another voice says, you know what? Shut up, get up, go to work. And that voice won. So you have to have something that drives you, not money, because you'll be making money and then you get bored. Something much bigger than that. Those who count on you. So for me, my drive, my mother, as you know, that she's sick of cancer, and my family. That's what gets me going.
So you just think about your why, the why you get up and why you do what you do. You just revert back to that, and it just kind of recalibrates you, centers you to be able to go out and start rocking and rolling again.
Right, and then I go from that why right away to how. I hate why. Why didn't I sell? Why are these leads bad? Why can't I make a top 5? How about how? How can I make these leads work? Learn. How can I get more leads? Buy. How can I make more money? Sell. So if there is anything that's tattooed in my heart, is how. I hate why, and I hate whyers too. So I'm sorry, Holden.
Let's talk about your preferred carriers. On this part of the podcast, we love kind of peeking inside the mind of each producer to see, and there's a variety of answers. There's no wrong answer, obviously. We just like to find out why you sell with the carriers that you sell with, and what about them, makes you fired up to use them and work with them. So right now, doing what you do, obviously pushing a lot of volume, who are your go-to companies, and why are they your go-to companies?
Yeah, you see, I see these carriers as exits on the highway. I'm driving my Prius, people thinking I'm from Cali, but of course not. So I'm driving on a highway, and then, if I see traffic, if I see problems and I cannot cross to the next exit, I'll take the first exit. If I have room to go to the next exit, I'll take the next exit. So when I see customers, I know that I have companies in my hands that I can use. Once I ask for the medications, I look at the medications they take, I ask them some questions, that's going to direct me to the exit I should take. So if I go to someone and he goes, I have COPD, I know I can go with trans because I work with trans here. If I go with someone, and they said, they are diabetic, they have neuropathy, I cannot go with Foresters. But if I have a 60-year-old female, she's healthy, I'd rather give her, coverage on accidental death and common carrier. So, if she gets 10,000, I did it today. You get 10,000 day one, you get 20,000 accidental, 30,000 common carrier. They'd be like, wow, that's a lot of money. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of money. I had the client today who has cancer. I was on that highway. And then the only exit that I could take was AIG exit. It says AIG. So I'm like, I'm going to put him on AIG. Me personally, I teach all of my agents 4 companies they should have. If they are in Massachusetts, if they are in Rhode Island, they should have 5. Because in Rhode Island, we can add RNA, which is a great company. In Massachusetts, we have Foresters, we have Prosperity, we have Transamerica, and we have AIG. In Rhode Island, we can add RNA. That gives us 5. When you have these 5 with you, you don't need anything else. You can cover each and everyone, unless you have, child insurance, you have to go to Mutual Omaha or, return of premium and so on. But that's how I do it. It's whatever my client's form and health will lead me, that's the carrier. But those are my 5 ones.
Gotcha. Okay. And when it comes down to, we all learn lessons in this business. The lessons and, getting our nose bloodied up are really what, those experiences help us progress and help us grow and move forward down the road. What would you say one of the biggest lessons is that you've learned in this business?
The biggest lesson, which is, I hope every listener will listen to this, do not try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to reinvent it. Look at the leaders up front and follow their lead. You don't have to go and make brochures and drop them at cafes and stores, and you don't have to go and hire a company who sells you leads for $2. You don't have to have a special, way to approach customers that is new to everyone. Just follow the protocol, learn from your upline, reach out to everyone, keep learning every day, diversify your portfolio. There is no way you can succeed. And then you add on top of it Medicare, forget it, man. I mean, you're talking about $300,000 a year. Forget it. So I think not inventing the wheel and following what the uplines are doing and following them and reaching out to them and just not invent the wheel. Do as they did.
Keep it simple and just rock and roll and follow the leaders. I mean, that's exactly what you've done since day one. And Reda, I'll just say, as always, I always love having you on the calls. Always love, being able to interact with you. I'll just say thanks again, man, for jumping on and spending some time with us today on the podcast.
You're welcome, brother. Anytime you need anything, we are brothers. We are all one family. Anyone in this podcast, you want to reach out to me, 774-300-7510. Anywhere in the country, we are all one team. Just call me, and Chase, I love you, man.
I appreciate you, brother, man, as always. And, guys, it's authentic. He's as real as it gets. I've been waiting to get Reda on, and it's awesome to have him on the podcast. He's got people to see and places to go right now as we speak. So it's awesome having him on. If you're listening in right now and you're not with EFES, highly recommend giving us a call. Whatever the deficiency is that's there, we can help you with it. If you feel like it's a lead thing, if you feel like it's a team thing and you don't have any camaraderie or there's no mentorship, you need training, whatever it is, let us know. We'd love to have a conversation with you about it. At the end of the conversation, we may say, hey, you're on track. You need to take the initiative and jump on and take advantage of these things here that you have. Or it may be a deficiency. It may be something where you need to upgrade your situation. Maybe you need better contracts. Maybe you need better carriers. Maybe you need, as Reda just said, to work with somebody like him who's at the front of the pack and not just talking about it but always being about it. So if that's you, give us a call, 800-765-0711. We would love to talk to you. And if you're out there right now and you're saying, hey, I'd like to network with some top producers, I'd love to kind of get a chance to meet some people face-to-face. We're going to be in Las Vegas, as I said at the top of the podcast, March 21st, March 22nd. You have to RSVP to attend. It costs you nothing. You don't have to pay a Willy Wonka golden ticket to get there. All you got to do is RSVP. If you want to know how to RSVP, let us know. We'll shoot the invite to you, and we hope to see you there. It's going to be a great event with some of the best in the business there. And I hope you guys have a great go-around with it. We're here. If you need anything, give us a call.